Welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to folks on OneSpotMedia.com and those of you watching on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
Up first this evening, it is a lie. That insistence from the tourism minister this evening regarding international reports and claims from local advocacy groups that only 1% of public beaches are free for Jamaicans to access.
Edmund Bartlett was speaking at the Artisan village at Falmouth at the Falmouth AVF Food Festival in Trelawny yesterday. Krista Campbell reports.
Access to public beaches has been one of the most contentious issues dominating public discourse in recent times. There are even court cases on the matter involving ownership of and access to a few beaches in different parishes. At the front line of some of these legal matters and public discourse is advocacy group Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM. The group has reported that less than 1% of Jamaica's coastline consists of publicly owned, freely accessible beaches. That 1% claim has also been headlined in international reports and has Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett on the defensive about Jamaica's almost 2,200 kilometers of coastline.
Only 29% of that represent areas with any sand or anything. And that in fact, only 22% of all of that area too is possible for swimming and beach activity. And that in all of that we have 70 beaches across Jamaica, 70 that are available to the public, 60 of which are reasonably done up. And in all of that, there are only 10 beaches that are commercial and 5 that you really pay extensively to go to.
But for their part, advocacy groups like JABEM have been more vocal in recent times over privatization of once public beaches through hotel developments or the restriction of access pathways to the sea. On that issue, the minister has vowed to work towards improvements.
We may have an issue with an owner here. We may have an issue with a process there. But we must not make the world define Jamaica as a country that denies its population of beach access, because it is wrong and it's not true. We can deal with issues that we have, we can correct, because we're going to make the beaches better and to enable it to have a more commodious arrangement.
During his 2026-27 sectoral presentation in Parliament, Minister Bartlett outlined a multi-million-dollar investment to expand access to a few public beaches in different parishes. But as for damage control to the 1% beach access narrative,
it is hard for me as the Minister of Tourism to be at BBC trying to convince them that somebody who has an axe to grind or somebody who has an advocacy arrangement is putting forward the view that our country is a country where our people cannot have access to beaches.
On March 17, 2026, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness tabled the new beach access and management policy in Parliament, which, among other things, promised increased physical access to and use of public beaches and the sea by all stakeholders. However, at least 2 advocacy groups have taken issue with the wording of sections of the policy and insist it does not address some of the fundamental issues with beach access. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.